Good morning, dear students. How are you? Hope you are fine. Today we are going to start to take the O-level lesson, Time for English, and we will start with Unit 8. The first slide is shown in front of you. It's Unit 8 and it's called In the Park. So let's start. For the first slide, it's a conversation time. The second one, hey, don't do that. What? The third slide, don't drop letter, use the pen. I'm sorry, where is it? The fourth slide, it's over there, it's under the tree. Oh, I see it, thanks. So I'm talking about the behavior. Don't throw anything in the street or in the garden. Just throw your rubbish in the basket or the bin. Fine. For the fifth slide, it's the word time. The first word I have is grass. The second one, sand. The third is snow. Fourth, wildlife. Wildlife is the life of the animals or the wild animals in the jungle as it's shown in front of you. Okay, and then I have a pond or ponds, a tree or trees as a singular and as a plural. Number 3, a mountain or mountains, a river or rivers. So I use a to show as it's in a single form. Okay, next slide. To the practice time. Today's lesson is the grammar time. It's using there is and there are. For sure, we use there is when I have just a singular thing I'm talking about. And there are, I use for the plural, for many things I have. And in the affirmative form, I use some. When I use some, it means it's a positive sentence. I use it that I have these things. For example, here in the affirmative, there is and there are, plus some, plus the uncountable noun or the plural noun. As we know before, the uncountable nouns are the nouns that you cannot count. For example, like the rice, like the sugar, like the milk, like the butter. You cannot count them. So those are the uncountable nouns. And there are, I use it for the plural nouns. For the negative form, I said before, negative means I put not. So negative means not. There isn't, also for the uncountable noun as a singular form, or there aren't in a plural noun. But here in the negative form, I use any, not using some. I use some with the positive sentence. But in the negative sentence, I use any after isn't or aren't. So let's check the examples I have. Number 1, there is some sand on the floor. So it means it's a positive sentence because I use some. In the negative form of this sentence, there isn't any sand on the floor. So that's in the negative form, I use not and I put with not any. Number 2, there are some trees in our garden. As in the negative form, there aren't any trees in our garden. Example number 3, there are some ponds in the park. As a positive, as a negative sentence, there aren't any ponds in the park. Number 4, there is some snow. In the negative, there isn't any snow. And that's for this slide. For the next slide, we have the phonetics time. We said before, the phonetics time is the way I pronounce the letter or the double letter. In this unit, we have how we are going to pronounce the ES as a plural. So I pronounce them is. Let's check. In number 1, boxes. Pencil cases. I pronounce it as an is, not an ES. Bushes. Buses. Witches. Sandwiches. Nurses. Peaches. Okay, so I pronounce the ES as an is. Again, boxes, pencil cases, bushes, buses, witches, sandwiches, nurses, and peaches. Next slide. It's an exercise. So I will start with the choose the correct answer with you. Number 1, there is or are or isn't or aren't some books on the desk. Yes, correct. There are, because I have some as a positive sentence, and books, it's a plural, not a singular. Super. Okay, for number 2, it's bad to drop letters on the floor. Use the 10 or pin or bin or pen. Correct? Yes, the bin. Bravo. Number 3, what or where or when or who is your bag? It's next my desk, so it's in a place. So I will use where correctly. Yes. Okay, for number 4, there isn't any or some or a or an water with me. Yes, correct, it's any, because it's a negative sentence. I have is and not. Correct answer. Number 5, I like climbing rivers, sand, snow, mountains so much. So what do we climb? Yes, correct, it's mountains. Thank you. That's for the choose answers. For the next one is read and write true or false. So I will need you just to write an icon as a T for true or F for false. So let's check the picture and the questions. Number 1, there are some animals. Check the picture. Yes, correct, true. You have an elephant, a lion, a giraffe, a zebra, a hippo. Correct. Number 2, they are in the morning. Also correct, true, bravo. Number 3, there is some grass. Check the picture. Yes, correct, it's true. We have some grass in this picture. Number 4, there are some mountains and rocks. Check it. No, it's false. Yes, we have some rocks, but we don't have mountains. Correct, thank you, super kids. Okay, for the next slide, read and circle the odd one. Okay, the odd one here, you just have one noun or one verb or one adjective. It's odd. It's not rhyming with the other words or the other verbs. So we are going just to take it out. So let's check with number 1, drop, put, pond, and write. Yes, correct, it's pond, because all of them are verbs, but pond is a noun. Number 2, trees, snow, rivers, birds. Yes, correct, it's snow, because all of them are plural, but snow is as a singular form. Okay, number 3, sand, beach, sea, and sea. Okay, here let's differentiate between these two. Sea with a double E, it means that you can see with your eyes. But sea with the EA, it's the sea you go and swim in it. So please differentiate between them, because you pronounce them the same, but they are two different. This one is also a noun and sea is a verb. So which one is the odd one? It's sea, the verb. Yes, correct. Number 4, I have wrangler, bin, teacher, nurse. Okay, what's the meaning of wrangler? Wrangler is the person who guards a building or a person who guards you. So that's a wrangler. So which one is the odd one? Yes, it's bin, because all of them are jobs, but bin is a noun. Thank you very much. Correct. Okay, done. For the next question is look and write 4 sentences. Okay, here I ask you to write the sentences, not a paragraph. What's the difference between both of them? Sentences, it's a separate. You write 1, 2, 3, 4 sentences, and that's it. You start with a capital letter and you end with a full stop. You must end with the full stop. Don't forget it. Okay, but if I ask you to write it as a paragraph, You just write the sentence, you finish it with a full stop, and then complete the other sentence as we write it in the composition. So it's a paragraph form. But when I ask you to write a sentences, so I want to see 4 sentences, 1, 2, 3, 4, under each other, okay? So let's start. Look and write 4 sentences. Check the picture. Okay, so number 1, I can say, fast food is unhealthy. That's the first one. Number 2, for example, I like to eat burger and fries. I like to drink cola or coffee or tea as it's shown in front of you. Okay, that's the third one. Then I have maybe the donuts. I like to eat donuts. I like ketchup and mustard. It's up to you. Just look at the picture, write 4 complete and correct sentences, and don't forget to end with a full stop, sweeties. Okay? Thank you. That was for today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed and you understand it well. See you next time.